On this season of One Lap, 4 of us ride 1,000 miles around the perimeter of Michigan's Lower Peninsula.
I love riding on 2 wheels, and I love Michigan. I thought, what a great way to go see it all.
Kind of like the mix of guys this year. It provided a different viewpoint of the trip.
We wanted to throw a little element in there and camp, kind of my idea, which due to the weather, I wish it wasn't.
Long for this place for so long. Now I lay me down and be long. And I breathe in the air fresh from the blessed Midwest. I am held by the forest where I go for rest, and washed by the waters of Lake Michigan. And wherever I go, I will return again to mine.
I remember waking up on day 7, amazed that we only had 2 more days of riding to go. We had already ridden over 700 miles in difficult conditions. Yet we had one more challenge to conquer. Meet the Mackinac Bridge, 5 miles of elevated roadway that connects Michigan's upper and lower peninsulas. For Ron and Bill, who had never crossed the bridge on 2 wheels, it was a rite of passage. The weather can be so severe in this area that it's made the bridge unpassable. So we were hoping that Mother Nature would be on our side.
It was probably the most perfect weather that we had had to that point. Riding across the bridge was quite an experience. I know that Bill was pretty nervous about that.
Being up that high over the water and experiencing the concrete on the bridge and the metal grates was quite a challenge.
I remember personally approaching on the road to the bridge and just getting real nervous about the whole thing.
Crossing the bridge in the morning was just a great way to get the day started. It really put a smile on everybody's face. It was a good time.
I really enjoyed going over the Mackinac Bridge. And it was fun, but it was kind of challenging.
The good thing about the route we had is we got to cross the bridge, turn around, and cross it again.
I got excited about crossing back over because I got it over with. You know, that first time, it's kind of like ripping a Band-Aid off.
After crossing the bridge for the second time, we left Mackinac City, hugging the coastline, and rode for about an hour to our first stop.
Sun hitting you in the face and just like how awesome that was versus, you know, riding like this and being pelted with rain.
We headed towards the Legs Inn. That was our first destination, and that was kind of iconic location.
It's a Polish restaurant. I highly recommend it if you're in that area. And the view out back, if you go there, is spectacular.
It's located right on Lake Michigan. Really cool place, had all kinds of sculptures that were made out of wood.
It's really decorated quite neat. I mean, it's a cool restaurant.
You're sitting out on the lawn and you're looking out over Lake Michigan, and I just remember off in the distance you can see these storm clouds coming in.
You know, we were getting suited up yet again for another day of rain. One of the key elements of that day was tunnel trees.
The Tunnel of Trees is a 20-mile stretch of road that was the pinnacle of the trip. It's a narrow road that's canopied with trees and winds along the lakeshore, connecting Cross Village to Harbor Springs.
It's not about going as fast as you can go. It's just the maneuvering back and forth and being surrounded so closely by trees.
It was fun. It was a good experience. I love Tunnel Trees.
Simply put, it is gorgeous.
Were you away by yourself, dressed like an angel in white on the way? Can you be like a drone, straight from a song that I've known all along? Can you take the islands, just pulling apart the waves as I fall into your arms, tearing up roses as daylight approaches, just hoping to be what you want.
John and I were talking, and we were like, well, we kind of want to take it at our own pace and see what happens. And yeah, that necessarily wasn't the best idea.
I hear this loud snap. I thought my back tire blew. And so I start to slow down. Instantly in my head, I went, this is not going to end well. And I'm pumping the brakes and I'm slowing down and I pull to the side of the road and the ass end of my scooter just went sideways and pitched me off, but I didn't end up falling. I just kind of ran off the bike and it went down and it was fine. The heart was definitely pounding. Got back on the bikes, headed into Harbor Springs, and then the skies just opened up. And we were in rain from Harbor Springs to Traverse City. We were supposed to do some zip lining in there, and unfortunately, due to the rain, that didn't happen.
When we got into Traverse City, we were going to stay at the state park, but this is the first time that we were going to show up at our campground and it was raining. Staying in a tent when it's raining is bad enough, but setting up camp and doing that type of thing is just absolutely miserable when it's raining. So we again called it quits and decided to check in to Camp Hilton, and that's where we wound up staying that night.
Instead of hope in the light of this moon, my mind keeps searching, but my heart decides.
Our last day started very much like the night before ended. It was cold, it was dreary, and it was wet, but we had places to go and people to see.
Just was nonstop fog. Humidity was really high and it was raining and I just had a hard time seeing.
I think by that point we were kind of ready to be done. We all really enjoyed the trip and we just wanted to get home.
We left Traverse City heading west before going down the coastline for a brief stop in Arcadia. Then we passed by Manistee and Ludington to a fun destination in Silver Lake before returning to our final destination.
A learning point for me was getting real, actual motorcycle riding gear. Frog tog suits are great if you're sitting in a duck blind and you're not going 65 miles an hour in the rain. That's something I would change, and I would definitely invest in that.
It did end up clearing up as we were kind of putzing around and just exploring the area on scooters, which was kind of nice.
The day was going to be primarily about riding and taking it easy and getting to Ludington probably as quickly as we can. We had all been kind of worn out by the adventure, but one place that we stopped by is Inspiration Point.
If you're not from Michigan, it's one of those places you have to go to experience. It really showcases Lake Michigan, the sand dunes, and what Michigan has to offer.
We took off and we rode to Ludington.
It was just some nice riding the rest of the day.
It was a nice ride, some nice scenery along the way.
And I will tell you when you're older how I loved you just the same. It only matters where we're going. It never mattered from where you came.
After a quick fuel stop in Ludington, we continued to head south to Silver Lake.
The dune rides is a definitely must-do in Michigan. It's a cool experience.
When life, it gets you down, steals your crown, and breaks your will. Oh, well, I'll pick you up, brush off the dust, and hold you still. I will tell you when you're older how I loved you just the same. It only matters where we're going. It never mattered from where you came.
After we got done exploring the dunes, we jumped back on our scooters and headed north back to Ludington to our final destination for the trip.
Kind of checked out Ludington. It's a really fun city and really cool place.
Ludington was one of our locations where we had a major sponsor, House of Flavors, and that team over there just were exceptional. When we rolled into Ludington, you thought we were Hollywood stars.
I had been communicating with Barry and Cindy at House of Flavors there and letting them know when we were going to get into town. He had been watching our live videos and felt some pity, I think, and compassionately hooked us up with a hotel that evening, which was nice.
We walked into House of Flavors and it was really a welcoming experience.
Ladies and gentlemen, we want to give a round of applause to the One Lap crew who are just here on their Fits Like a Glove tour. We have Clive and Mike and Bill and John.
Now I lay me down and be lost.
Great service, great food, good time.
Everybody was just like stuffed to the gills, and then they brought out the sundae to end all Sundays called the Big Pig. I couldn't believe how much ice cream was on this thing.
I couldn't think of a better way to end it. 1,200 miles, 8 days through some of the toughest conditions, and it all seemed worth it in the end.
The blessed Midwest. I am torn, I am bleeding. See many souls, many holy. Remember their faces.
Been your favorite part about this journey so far?
I think crossing the bridge was one because I was really scared to do that, and now I feel like I can check that off the I'm never doing that again card. No, I'm just kidding. I'll be doing it again. But yeah, no, I liked it all. There hasn't been anything I haven't enjoyed. It's been a good time.
What are you never doing again?
That's probably my least favorite.
What do you got on your shirt there? I love you too, but he has a scooter.
Season 3 fits like a glove. Now I can just enjoy the fire. My God, it's dark out.
My brain is still fluttering in rainwater, so. Man, she's got a big ass.